Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Rody here from Queensland Rural in Charters Towers. Bit of a different backdrop here this afternoon. We've left Nick in charge of the paperwork, and we've made our way down to Mount Coolin for the draft here for the weekend. So we've had the store sale here in Charters Towers today for the 20th of June. Combined age and chartered about 3,200 head of store cattle there today. A fairly different yarding of cattle from the previous store sale we had last Friday. Probably a few more of those older weight for age type steers, you know, a lot of number 4 steers and heifers throughout the yarding for that fact. So we had a few larger runs of those consignments there. Probably not a big heap of fresh weaners like we seen there last week, but still some very good quality cattle scattered throughout the yarding. So the yarding was made of approximately 1,200 steers. There was a couple of big runs of Mickeys there as well, from a few different consignments, about 600 of those and about 1,300 heifers as well to fill the yarding. So to get right into it, I think the steers over 400 kilos, you know, not a big heap of those to quote at all really in that heavyweight division. But yeah, the best of those, kind of 305 cents for those heavyweight feeder cattle to go back on the feed, drop back into those, you know, mid 300, 400 kilo steers. Probably out to 320 cents there for the best of those for some crossbred type steers, but a lot of those steers there today kind of 280 to 290 cents. So back then into those younger type cattle, those, you know, 240 to 300 kilo calves, those really ideal background market there today. We've seen some really good crossbred calves there, out to 440 cents a day. Not a big heap of weight in them, but some really good quality steers here out to 440 cents. But as soon as you dropped into those crossbred types, those good flat back type steers there today, anywhere from 380 to 420 cents. So there was probably a bit of a difference again that we've seen in previous weeks as well from that Brahman job as well. But the very best of those Brahman steers today kind of 360 cents as well. But a lot of those younger number 5 type steers, you know, out to kind of 340, but a lot of those steers anywhere from 280 to 320 cents. If you bumped along and you had an older branded steer with a number 4, you know, with plenty of frame and not a lot of condition on them there, there was a few consignments of that type of article there today. A lot of those steers today anywhere from 280 to 310 cents there. So people buying plenty of frame but not a lot of weight in those cattle there as well. So there was some couple of runs of Mickeys. We got some heavyweight Mickeys there today out to about 310 cents. But yeah, you know, some really good quality Brahman Mickeys there, kind of making 280 to 290 cents. And then there was a big run of lightweight Mickeys there, account of Inverleigh Pastoral from out of Normanton there as well. They had a run of steers and a big run of Mickeys there as well. I think the Mickeys in those run kind of got out to about 340 cents there, 330, 340 cents for the best of those. Kind of crossbred type Mickeys there with a little bit of cross in them. The Brahman type still out to about 320 or 330 cents there as well. So on to the heifer job today, ladies and gentlemen. Very similar story to the steers as well. You know, we've seen probably the same differential between a crossbred heifer and those Brahman type heifers as well. Jumping into some values though, kind of 280 to 290 cents, the best of those heavyweight heifers to go back on the feed, but not a big heap of those to quote today either. You get back down to those mid-run heifers, you know, a lot of those better end crossbred heifers a touch over $3. I think 308 cents we've seen some Black Brangus heifers get out to, but you bump down in under those, you know, a lot of those softer crossbred type heifers 270 to 300 cents. You get back onto a Brahman, the better end of the Brahmans, 260 to 280 cents still, and then you bump down to those little lightweight veal cattle there with, you know, those, you know, ones that could go and do that veal job. You know, we've seen probably 260 to 270 cents there. But once you bump down into those store type articles, you know, anywhere from 240 to 250 cents there as well. A handful of cows and calves there today, ladies and gentlemen. I think a 6x6 and a 2x2 topped at $850 there as well. But probably not a big heap of cows and calves in quality wise to really get a good quote on. So that's today's market wrap for the 20th of June, ladies and gentlemen, for the store sale. So we are aiming to have 2 sales again next week, ladies and gentlemen. So we have got about 2,000 primes in the combined book already, and about 2,500 stores. So if you've got any prime cattle or you've got any store cattle that you are wanting to book in for next week, make sure you get in contact with one of the Queensland Rural team. Be sure to book you in before we do see another full yarding. So hopefully see you all next week, either Wednesday for a prime sale or next Friday for another store sale here at Charters Towers. Thank you.